Austrian Emperor to take command at Vienna headquarters. From the New York Times, July 29th, 1914. Read for LibriVox.org by James Smith. Austrian Emperor to take command at Vienna headquarters. War fever at capital. Crowds cheer outbreak of hostilities and demonstrate at friendly embassies. Outbreak of food riots. Prices soar as hostilities are declared and the government steps in to regulate them. Manifesto from Emperor. Forced to grasp the sword, he says, to defend the honor of his monarchy. France fears a great war. Army moves to the frontier. Belief in Paris that Russia will not desert Serbia. Special cable to the New York Times. Vienna, July 28th. Upon the issue of the formal declaration of war against Serbia today, Emperor Franz Joseph gave orders for the removal of the summer court from Ischl to the capital. His entourage tried to persuade him that Vienna air would not suit him, but the aged emperor replied, "I do not want the air of Vienna. I want the atmosphere of headquarters." The opening of the war has caused the imposition of all kinds of restrictions upon public business. All the railways, of course, are under military control, and the telegraphs are being reserved entirely for the service of the state. The hope is still entertained here that the war will be confined to Austria-Hungary and Serbia. The report that Russia and France have intervened in Vienna is incorrect. In official circles here it is maintained that any action by those powers must be supported by the third party of the Triple Entente, namely, Great Britain. It is known that Great Britain and France do not want a European war. Peace among the great powers, or war among the great powers, must depend on the action of St. Petersburg. At the Foreign Office here it is freely stated that now that war has begun, Austria-Hungary will be bound to no more conditions such as she propounded prior to the outbreak of hostilities. Food prices up in Vienna. There was an abnormal rise in the price of provisions today, which caused great indignation on the part of the public, who flocked to the markets to lay in stores in anticipation of a possible scarcity. Vegetables in many cases trebled in price. Feeling ran so high that in many instances stall keepers in the marketplace were mobbed or assaulted, and the police had to be called out to restore order. The authorities declare that the sudden increase in the prices of provisions and vegetables is totally unwarranted. A permanent committee appointed to deal with the question of provisioning the country sat today to discuss the regulation of prices in order to prevent the public being cheated. A similar meeting, with the same object, was also held in the Diet. It was officially asserted that there was no reason for apprehension with regard to the food supply, and that it was needless for citizens to start the accumulation of stores of provisions. The only effect of such procedure, it was added, would be to still further raise prices. Official arrangements have been made to take care of families of reservists called to the colors. In the event of a reservist being killed or reported missing, an allowance of about 25 cents per day for each adult and 12.5 cents a day for children will be continued for 6 months. End of article. This recording is in the public domain.